instead of waiting for somebody to do something, because this is your movement. It's not ours. Because we are the ones that, you know, have a certificate or some paperwork or a card or whatever. It's for the people to take this and do with it what has to be done. Our papers are our only hope of shoveling ourselves out from under the avalanche of lies that are annually let loose upon us. Like, man said, everything that I say is spirit. You know what happens to people in an avalanche? When people get caught in an avalanche, what happens to them?
They're buried.
This man said avalanche of lies.
They suffocate.
They're buried for sure.
For sure.
They get crushed.
Right? What's this avalanche of lies doing to us? That are annually let loose upon us. So annually, they have a day when they go to the lies snow-capped mountain and they make a loud noise, and then there's an avalanche of lies that comes down on us every year, annually.
Black History Month.
Annually.
BET.
Everything. Lies, just covering up the moors. And this was back then. So we're at daily now. Daily avalanche of lies. And people never want to get caught in an avalanche. Yeah, but there's an avalanche of lies like on you right now. What do you mean? Buried in lies right now. And then nobody wants what the prophet said. They want what everybody else said. Everybody else. They want what Lady Gaga said.
What did she say? I don't even know. Oh.
Exactly. But they want it though.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. I see.
They want it. You know? They want what she said.
Yes.
Right? So, the Moorish Divine and National Movement umbrella as far as today, yeah.
Sorry, Bridget. This is a kind of important point I wanted to make. If you see how these people have sold out and gone astray and are following other people, right? And in this case, they're following the ex-slave master for that transatlantic slave trade, right? In picking up the habits and behaviors of those people, they're trying to force, like they actually picked up the practice of forcing people to do stuff. You know, right now, they're trying to force us, our women, they're trying to force our women to walk around half naked, Bridget. They're trying to force me, in a sense, to be walking around with my pants sagging and thing. You know what I mean? I did better than that. You know, if they want to idolize them thing, they're not real. You know? They're trying to force us to be doing these things right now.
They're not forcing anybody.
Well, Bridget, that's not the reality.
The choice is basically is ours. We're choosing to behave like the way we're behaving.
Based on
walking around
our mentality.
No, okay, I agree.
Based on our mentality, based where we are mentally.
That's our state.
That's why we act how we act.
I agree, but at the same time, especially with the youths, like you see some of the small children today, they're too young to have a choice in what's going on at that point, right?
Yeah, but
and their parents, you have these young, like our age parents, are forcing their youth them into some nastiness.
That's true too. What you're saying is true, and also what you're saying, they're using hypnosis and they're using undertones in music and subliminals. You're absolutely right. But at the same time, like he's saying, there's a choice, but some people don't know the choice because they think it's real. The lie's real. This avalanche is real.
You mentioned the thing. They are using us against ourselves. But how can you use me against my own self is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's the higher self and the lower self.
But they're trying to use us against our own self, for real.
And it's working.
It's working.
And it's working.
Self-hatred, but at the same time, you're right about that, but this is what know thyself means. Like we got to know who we are so we can bring this out, the signs of our true identity of self, our nationality.
Actually,
I think Tony made an point I just want to go back to again, that he said that the ignorance of the laws is no excuse. That being said, any experience you have in your life is based according to your thoughts and the decisions you make and the actions you take according to them. So sometimes people will go through experiences, but that's their learning curve to get to where they want to go. And if they're ready to evolve to the next level, then they'll get themselves in a position to do so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whether it's in the negative, whether it's in the negative or the positive.
Regardless.
Yeah.
They're in a stuck state. They got to get themselves out of a stuck state.
You know what? I agree with you, but I actually live and I have an example, right? Where I know an individual is a youth, and man, this youth lives in the ghetto, and he has the same he has ignorance in him, Bridget. Ignorance is like, it was brought up in him.
Yeah, but that's because he came from the ghetto.
But Bridget, but that's what he's innocent in that, because when you go out there, that youth is trying to help people, all of a sudden thing you never believe.
Yeah, but in the sense that the fact that we're gonna identify he lives in the ghetto, that just that statement right there put him on a low vibration. So he didn't even start acting yet. But that's how, and that's what they're saying about they're using us against ourselves. They're using, because we're related. So instead of coming at you, they'll just give me $50, make me shoot you. Like, why give you the gun and actually shoot yourself? Like, you're not gonna do it. So how about we just get this guy who looks just like this guy, that he can get close enough to him to shoot him.
The sellout, yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? And it's the thing. What's the faith, the practice, right? Is about repetition. Go over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
So what are you?
I asked Mufti how much kicks he did today. That was in each foot. Like,
yeah.
Because repetition is what actually builds the foundation.
Mother of invention.
You know?
But what more so are you, a product of yourself or your environment? That's
Right.
what it comes down to. A lot of people are using their environment as an
As an
excuse,
excuse.
big time.
Come back to the same excuse thing that, well, yeah,
Exactly.
you know, you can't use that.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Sure, you
Can
can.
I say something too? It's not just in the ghettos anymore.
It's everywhere.
That's
It's everywhere.
No, but no, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
But the young people.
I see some Europeans
Yeah.
today with their pants off their ass or
Oh,
whatever.
no,
like
I'm
some
not
rapper.
talking about that.
You're talking about the rudeness of everything.
No, I'm talking about, like, I'm giving you the example of an individual. Why I would call it the ghetto is the living conditions that the people are living in has lowered them. That alone actually lowers
honestly,
their
I see that there's some people imagine that are living in bad conditions.
No, man. Your
Yeah,
mind is
Ashe,
lowered.
yeah.
Not your
Yeah.
Ashe,
environment.
Ashe.
Bad conditions.
Yeah.
The outside
No,
life-
Satanic rituals going on.
Yes, yes.
Actually, that has its natural influence to lower your state of thinking.
No, but listen, you got a lot of people that live in the ghetto that are proud, right? Because they choose to be proud. It all depends on what's going on in your head. I mean, what's your state like? I mean, like, if you have got like a defeated state, guess what? I mean, you're going to be suppressed as far as from what's coming into your mind in thinking that this is how I act because I'm living in the ghetto. That's what it all comes down to.
It's like the bum. The bum has gourmet cuisine every night. Gourmet. That a man just took a bite and threw in the garbage. Like, he's gonna take that and that's gonna be like, yo, that's gonna be the meal for this guy. Half of a hamburger that's been in the garbage for 2 days. And then he's gonna live to be like 90. And then all these guys out here who are holistic health and they're working out or whatever, man, getting hit by the bus, man. Like all type of craziness happening to people. But the bum, man's not paying no rent, sleeping on the street. Yo, there's bums that's been bums since I've been in high school. There's still bums right now.
That's it.
Yo, there's still bums right now, still sleeping on whatever.
Cardboard.
And I'm like, yo, this guy's been a bum for like 15 years. And he's still going stronger than everybody else.
He's living large.
Yeah, man, I agree. It's perspective, 100%. Because it's a mental state. Because these same people that are in so-called poverty situations, they all have flat screen TVs. Alexis is outside the project building that they can't pay rent for, that they're getting on fixed income, or that's our problem, brethren. It's a state that we either, if you're put in that situation, are not doing anything to get yourself out, or you're just accepting the fact that that's your destiny. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down.
But you know what though, Virgin? That youth is going through what I already went through, where he's a youth, right? And Virgin, exactly what you said is true, right? But the youth has no say in his thing, because he exhibits then the higher self. You know, like he actually exhibits characters of the higher self. Right, but then he also exhibits characters of the lower self because of the exposure that he's getting.
So I think it comes down to his perspective on what he chooses to do about something.
It will be his choice in that sense, right?
And that's why in the law, divine law, natural law, even our laws, there's always a choice to do right or wrong. You choose.
Yeah.
The law is already there. You choose what to do with it. And then
your mind as a weapon. You're using their mind as a weapon. That's what's going on.
See, I would agree with you, but it's
well, I want
youth still.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, from a youth's perspective.
I was just gonna say 2 weeks ago when we were at the youth program, and you told the kids, you're all out here with the Christmas shoes, balling rims on your car, but you're all complaining about living in the project, right? And worrying about someone pissing in your hallway. Selling some rock on the side. When you guys have the nicest stuff.
When they could have invested in something that's more progressive, like real estate or something. They're balling with rims.
Right. Right, and they're eating out every night. When they go live like the rich, so-called rich people, and they're going to the grocery store every night, and they're spending like $2 a night on a big feast meal, while we're spending $5 for a snack.
Tuesdays.
That's our problem, man. It's our choice.
Our own doing. So, young brother, from a youth perspective, as far as what he was saying, as far as giving this youth an alibi that he knows about, do you think that's warranted?
He's a man to that youth. When I'm in he's a little,
how old are we talking?
He's a child.
Well, there's really no age, because everything's a natural process of nature. So someone that's 12 can just be as eligible as someone that's 50 years old.
The maturity of an individual is not based on their age, because there are 50-year-olds that act more childish than 12-year-olds.
Big time. Big time.
It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perspective.
Well, let's get back on track.
Yes.
There's a part now.
We got lost in more.
You know how the words get. We're going to be here until
Oh, wow.
So, the Moorish Divine and National Movement umbrella, as far as the followings of the teachings of Prophet Muhammad Ali, our affiliates would be Moorish American National Government, which follows the Divine Constitution and bylaws and adheres to the teachings of the Prophet, and Great Seal Moor Science Temple of America, which is the Moors that are on the perspective of where Taj is. All the Moors who deal with that perspective, and the perspective of Pleasant Bay, where the Prophet's at the head. We can't do anything unless we have the Prophet in the front. If we want to go in the front and try to push whatever, we're defeating ourselves. You know what I mean? And then just like we're talking about the list of just a lot of different other organizations that are under this umbrella. The Circle of Mothers and Sons in Cleveland, Moorish Institute of Ohio, Studies of the Works of CMB, the El East Moors of Florida, of course the Washita, Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. So it's not just when when you're doing your research and you put in Moors and you just hear Moor science done for America, don't think that's it. That's the only perspective